Hello everyone, welcome back to a little video covering some awesome Microsoft Flight Simulator news. Today I look into some more screenshots provided by DC Designs from their upcoming Concorde, talk about some AEROSOFT progress, and an awesome Just Flight release. There's a lot to talk about, so if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe, and if you're a frequent visitor, be sure to leave a comment down below and give us a like. But without further delays, let's get right into it. So starting off with DC Designs, they provided some screenshots on their Facebook page, like they do every Friday. Once again this week they're focusing on the Concorde as it's their priority. Now for those of you who don't know, DC Designs have produced the likes of the F-15 and F-14 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they're currently working on a payware Concorde. And yes, as always, it looks awesome. For the first time, they're giving us a major look into the cockpit, and it's pretty impressive, although work is clearly still needed. But hey ho, they've got until Christmas until they're desired to release it, although they can extend it if they want to. I've already started showing one on the screen. You can see we've got down near the throttle quadrant. You can see this part has been brought over from P3D. There's clearly a lot of work still needed, but hey. We still get a bit of information saying that the FMC provided will be modelled like the Concorde's one, but more akin to the A320 in terms of system depth. This is not a way to skimp, this is actually more realistic, as it was the plan with the Concorde's FMC just before they retired it, although of course they never got the chance. Moving over to an overhead panel version, you can see it's still from FSX. They get to remodel it, which goes for most of these cockpit screenshots, but it's nice to see that it's moved over nicely. To be honest, I thought Concorde would have a more in-depth overhead panel, but I guess a lot of the features that we see on the modern overhead panel were actually previously used by the flight engineer, so as you can see up here, most of it has probably been moved back. I think you could say that about the Concorde anyway. We do get an external shot of her in the heavy rain at Filton, which is of course in Bristol where the aircraft was made. We get a big cockpit shot, and you can see the circuit breakers in the back there, and of course the beautiful instrument panels. And you can see here this is where the work has been spent on the cockpit so far. It's looking really good. Of course a lot of it needs work, as I've said. Reflections are also coming in, so yeah, I mean it's very exciting stuff. But as he says, a lot of work still needed. This shows attention to detail once again. As you'd expect with a Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft, they've started mapping rain on the outside of the cockpit, and it looks very good. There's all the Concorde news available so far for this week. Their Friday news update is available on their Facebook page, as you'd guess, every Friday. It's nice to see that we get a big combination of awesome screenshots and in-depth information this week. Go check it out if you're on Facebook, you can probably see it before I get a chance to report on it. Anyway, let's move on. Just Flight have released their Hawk Trainer 1 Advanced Trainer for the sim, coming in at £32 UK, 99 pence, which is what, about 45 US dollars off the top of my head, or just under 40 euros. It's a highly detailed aircraft by the looks of it. I haven't got my hands on it yet, plenty of YouTubers have, I just didn't ask. But now you can get your hands on it, and it looks very good. Really well made by the looks of things. The sounds are awesome, as you can hear from their in-depth videos. They've also released a compiled tutorial video on their YouTube now, which covers it all. Of course, it's most famously used by the Red Arrows, but it's also used of course for fast jet training in the RAF and many other air forces, and has a light attack capability, although for obvious reasons that isn't necessarily modelled in the sim. It comes in at around 1GB as far as I know, and is only available on PC at the moment. I don't know whether it will be moved over to Xbox, but at the moment that's a no. Moving over to some AEROSOFT news. For those of you with the CRJ looking to upgrade to the longer version, which is the 900 and 1000, longer versions I should say, we've only got a few weeks to go. Now the head developer, Matthew Koch, has confirmed that upon release you'll be able to upgrade from the original to this version, coming in for €16.80 plus any tax. If you want to buy it off the cuff, you can buy it for €58.82. Aside from just the length and capacity, there is a few differences between the 900 and 1000 series compared to the 550 and 700. That includes slightly different engines, a higher fuel burn, as well as of course a longer fuselage and longer wings. While I'm personally not so attracted by it, I'm sure some will find a use for it. Quite a few people, I'd imagine. It is a very long aircraft for its size, which I always find quite funny. Of course, it can hold up to 105 passengers compared to around 80 for the CRJ 700. And that higher range, by a few miles, a few hundred miles, will mean you'll be able to reach more airports. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down below. Now, sticking with AEROSOFT's Simple Traffic is back on the table, entering beta soon. Now, this was cancelled recently with Sim Update 5. For those of you who don't know, it's basically an improved payware AI traffic system. Simple Traffic. Using real-world liveries and 3D models, it will replicate real-world airlines and airliners, hopefully resolving the issues with AI air traffic, which so many of you will be familiar with, and making the sim feel a lot more realistic as a whole. Once again, on the AEROSOFT forums, the AEROSOFT project manager confirms that it's back on track, and that's a quote. He says that Sim Update 6 is a very, very good update and that it solves a lot of problems. I for one am very excited for this mod. I think it could be an absolute game changer if they pull it off well, and although I prefer one that integrates with live traffic, improving AI air traffic could be a very good shout. Let me know what you think down below. From me today, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to say I'm doing a charity fundraiser, raising money for two awesome charities, SAFA the Armed Forces Charity and St Nicholas Hospice, ending with me doing a skydive. I'm very excited. The donation link is down below. We're so close to our target goal, so anything would really be helpful, but of course you just reading into it is helping those charities by gaining exposure. Anyway, from me today, thank you so much for watching. Last thing I want to say is thank you to my channel members. Thank you to Owen K, Captain Matt Russell, Simon Schmidt, Fanny Leibenberg, Ethan Bebeck, Jesse Wiseman, and hello. You guys really do help me out, and you can become a channel member for exclusive perks by clicking the blue join button down below. I'll see you around, guys. Bye bye.